Hi guys, this video shows how SSL works, that is SSL Secure Socket Layer. Now let's see what will we cover in this video tutorial. Why SSL certificate? Broadly, there are two reasons why SSL certificates exist, that is encryption and identification. Finally, why we encrypt things, what code it does and how the encryption works on your computer as well as on web server. Next, identification. How your web server can trust what computer is on the other end. Okay, now, like I said, there are two reasons why SSL exists, that is encryption and identification. Encryption is basically hiding what we send from one computer to another by changing the content. So it's like speaking in a code word. Example is ancient Greek, and these are the examples for codes. The code we use to encrypt our communication between two computers are obviously more complex because we don't want them to be cracked so easily. That is also an identification, how you can trust computers on the other end. Is the computer you think or something else? And we are gonna deal with both of them. First we are gonna cover encryption.
Typically, if we gonna send your credit card details to a server over a web where we see your computer on the left server, on the right side we wanna send the credit card number details non without SSL. This information can be grabbed by another computer here on the button. So if we don't use SSL on our computer or any other network between you and server, or can get the details sent over.
So SSL puts a barrier on that. So we know the computer looks at it will just regardless. Okay, let's see. Take an example, Google Gmail service. We will keep using SSL, username and password sent to it. How do we know this? If we look at the HTML behind the page, then it submits the login details. The action in the HTML code comes with HTTPS. That indicates that it will submit the form securely. Once you press submit button, there are several steps before the actual encrypted data is sent. It's called handshaking.
How does encryption takes place? Number 1. Computer agrees on how to encrypt data between them. Number 2. The server sends the certificate containing details about itself and the key to encrypt data. Number 3. Your computer says to start encrypting the data. Number 4. The server says start encrypting. Number 5. Now messages are encrypted. So I am gonna take you through each of the 5 steps and explain in detail. Now the first part of SSL handshake is how the computers agree on encrypting data between each other. First, the client computer on the left sends hello message to the server shown on the right. The information on the hello message contains key exchange methods in the first column, where I have shown the RSA. Second is the cipher. Cipher is the way of encrypting the data between the two servers. Then the third is the hash that is used to generate something called message authentication code, which is sent along with these messages so that the integrity is ensured. Version 3.3 indicates TLS, and the random number is used to compute master secret number then used from then on to calculate the encryption keys. Now once client sends message on the server sends a hello message back to the client saying I choose this key, this cipher method and this hash method. Now they have agreed. The client says this is what I can do and the server says I can pay these. Now they are ready to go on the next stage. Now the next stage, the server sends a certificate to the client. The certificate contains information about who the server belongs to, how the certificate is valid for, and various serial numbers, and more important, the public key. For more information on public key, you can refer to Wikipedia. So the server sends the certificate to the client. The next computer says Let's start encrypting message to server. It actually takes 3 messages to accomplish this. First is the client key exchange. Now once this message is sent, both computers can actually calculate the master secret code. That master secret code is used to encrypt all the communications from then on. Here then, our computers say, let's change cipher spec, the one previously agreed on the hello messages. And then your computer says, right, I am finished. Let's start now the next step. The server says, let's start encrypting. So it gives the cipher spec and says I am finished. Let's go now. The only thing is, when this message is sent to the client, it gets encrypted. So the finished message after cipher spec is encrypted completely and gets back to the computer.
Now all messages are encrypted. So in our Google example, login is Zendo. Password could be something like this, and when it is encrypted, this will be the garbage to anyone watching, and that's how the encryption works. Then the other reason why SSL exists is identification. That's making sure to computer you are speaking to the one you trust. Because you can have an SSL certificate, that doesn't mean necessarily that the computer you are talking to is the one you think it is. It just means that the communication between it and you is secure, which is not enough.